Let me ask you a simple question. Do you have insurance? I'm pretty sure you have a variety of insurances. You might have insurance for your house, for your car, medical insurance, life cover, dental insurance, and a variety of other insurances, which I think you consider vital for your life. But let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you have insurance for your website? Now think about this. Your website might be the biggest driver of traffic and new customers for your business, but you might not have insurance for your website. In this video, let's fix it. In this video, I'm going to teach you about a brand new amazing plugin called Duplicator, which I like to think of as an insurance provider for our websites. What Duplicator does is allows you to have backups on your site, scheduled backups, and gives you a host of features to manage your website well and give you peace of mind. So in this video, I'll cover everything you need to know about Duplicator, how to set it up, where to find it, how to set everything up so that you never miss out anything on your website. Let's go. So let's start with the basics. What is Duplicator? Duplicator is a WordPress plugin, and there are two versions of Duplicator that you can utilize. The first version I'm talking about, which you can see on the screen as well, is a free version of Duplicator. No charges, no subscription, nothing. Just install it on your site and you have access to backups on your website. It's pretty easy, but the real power of Duplicator is in the premium version. That's where all the fun begins. And if you upgrade to the premium version, you have access to much more, I say, robust set of features, which will allow you not only schedule your backups, import or I'd say migrate your websites, and also have all sorts of cloud storage available to you so that you can upload and back up your website multiple places, and that'll give you even more peace of mind. So in this video, what I will be doing is mostly utilizing the pro version of Duplicator, and if you want to follow along, you can go to duplicator.com, make a purchase, download the plugin, and you'll have a zip file and a license key to go along. Otherwise, you can watch this video and decide for yourself if all the amazing features I'm going to demonstrate of Duplicator is worth of your peace of mind and worth your, I'd say, sanity when it comes to your website. So what I'll do is I already have Duplicator, the plugin file, downloaded on my computer. Let's start by installing Duplicator first. So I'll go into plugins on my website. Right now I'm logged into my WordPress website, and by the way, this is the website I'm working with. It's a beautiful website I've just created. It's a cafe restaurant website. So this is a website we'll be working with, and let's install the Duplicator plugin first. So I'll go to add new plugin, and it'll open up the options for add new. I'll upload the plugin because I'm using the zip file for Duplicator Pro. If it was a free version, I could go here, search for Duplicator, install it. So I have the Duplicator file. I'll just drag and drop it here. I'll click install now, and let's wait for a few seconds for it to finish. So the plugin is now installed. Let's also activate it. So the plugin is now installed. Let's also activate the plugin by entering our license key. You'll already see this information or notice here. You can click this button called activate license or activate license here, and just directly go to the settings page where you need to enter the license key. So let's go there now. And what I'll do is just paste the license key here and clear and click activate. It'll switch to info only. So now we have the Duplicator completely set up on your website. So now that the plugin is installed, let's talk about what all the features I'm going to demonstrate in this video. So I'm going to demonstrate how to set up storages in Duplicator Pro. So what does storages mean? It means that when you upload your backups, you have options that you can store your backups locally. You can download them to your computer, or you can set them or upload them to cloud storages like Google Drive, Dropbox. So I'm going to teach you how to connect different storage methods with Duplicator Pro so you can upload your backup in multiple places. Next, I'm going to show you how to create a backup manually. I'm also going to show you how to schedule your backups, because you don't want to be backing up manually, right? That defeats the purpose of automation. So I'm going to show you how to create schedules inside Duplicator Pro so that your backups can run automatically, and also how the best methods there are to schedule backups and all the beautiful features you'll get with Duplicator Pro, which make it one of the best plugins out there for backups. And after that, we're also going to learn how to import backups on your site. That means restore your website with backups. And I'm also going to talk about how to set up recovery points, which is an absolutely critical feature inside Duplicator Pro. And what recovery points allow you to do is restore your website without even access to your backend. So if, let's say, you get a virus attack, for some reason you are not able to access the backend of your website, Duplicator Pro can still help you completely restore your website just like magic. And I'm also going to go through over some of the basic features of migration. So let's say you're migrating your website from one hosting provider to another hosting provider, and also talk about some basics of if you're changing your domain name, you can also use Duplicator Pro to completely transfer your website over and switch domain names absolutely easy. So all these amazing features I'll be covering in this video. So make sure to grab a cup of coffee and let's begin. So the first thing I'll do is go into Duplicator Pro and set up some storage options. And you can already see there's a specific menu entry for storage. So I'll go here, and this will open up the storage options. Now, one thing you might notice is there's one storage option already set, and it's called local. Now, you might be wondering, local meaning your computer, but no, this local means local to the server. That means it will be saved on the app exactly the same server as where your website is hosted. So even though it says local, it's actually uploaded to the server, but you might be able to, or you do have the option to download it. So if you run backups right now, they'll be saved just on your server. So for some reason your website crashes, the server crashes, you will lose backups. So that's default option is good to have, but the first thing is setting up different storage solutions. So I'm going to click add new to add a new storage option inside Duplicator Pro, and this will open up the option for having some different storage options. So what I'll do is name it, let's say Google Drive, because I'm going to set up or use Google Drive, which is allowed in Duplicator Pro. And for type, I'm going to go here and you can see all the options here that you can utilize. You can have Amazon S3, third-party S3 provider, Backblaze, B2, Dropbox, FTP, SFTP, Google Drive, Local Drive, and OneDrive. So I'm going to select Google Drive because that's my preferred solution for backups. So I'm going to just click this connect to Google Drive button, which will appear instantly after you click Google Drive or select Google Drive here. And this will open up a pop-up where you need to sign in. So let's wait for it to pop up. All right. So now that we have this option here, I'll click authorize Google Drive. I'll click and open up a new account. I'll just use my existing account for Google Drive. And this will give me a kind of a password that I need to copy. All right. So we'll also need to enable this. Let's click continue. And this code is what you need to copy. This will be unique to your website. So I'll just blur it out here on the screen. Going back here, I'll paste this and I'll say finalize setup. All right. So the Google Drive is now connected here, and this is how easy it is to connect any cloud storage provider with Duplicator Pro. Just a couple of clicks and it's absolutely easy. So you can set up as many cloud storage providers as you like. Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, even Amazon S3. If you're really skeptical, have 2-3 different cloud storage options available, but I recommend at least one cloud storage option available or connected in Duplicator Pro so that you can have absolute peace of mind that even if your server is not accessible, you have the data required to set up a new website with the backup. So this is why it's so important to have this. So once you've connected this, you also have some basic settings. So example, you can change the max packages. A package is one complete storage of or one backup of your website. So the most recent 10 packages will be saved. I think it's absolutely a good limit to have, but you can lower the limit or increase the limit as per your convenience. Now that we have Google Drive setup, we have two different options inside storage. We have the local setup and we have the Google Drive storage as well. So it's now time to start looking at how to set up backups. So there are two ways to set up backups. The one is a manual way, which you can back up manually, and also automated ways. So to start off, I'll go into the manual option, or I'll show you how to backup or how easy it is to create backups with Duplicator Pro. So what I'll do is, to start off, I'll just go into packages. Think of packages as one package of your website. So anytime you create a new package or you create a new backup, it'll show up here inside packages. So right now we're looking at the manual way of creating backups. So that's why we're doing everything manually. But what you need to do, or how simple it is to actually set up backups here, is just click create new. And Duplicator will jump into action, giving you all sorts of options. But don't worry, it's actually absolutely easy to follow. It'll give you a default name for the backups, and it'll have the date and time here. So it's easy to identify what the backup is by just looking at the date here. So absolutely, I would recommend don't change it so that you have some timestamps here to follow along in case you want to restore your website from backup. So now you have two options here. What kind of storage do you want to use? For this backup particularly, do you want to have it local or on Google Drive? Since this is a local or just a one-off backup, I'll just stick with local, and I'll show you other options when we set up scheduled backups as well. Rest of the options, you can just keep them to their default values. They are advanced features for people who understand what they're doing. And just to give you an idea of what they are, you can actually filter out specific information. If you want to just back up a few database tables, few files, you have all these options available. So even though it's absolutely easy to use, if you're a power user, you have the options to actually filter out and create a variety of different backups with different data. So I'll just do it here. And inside the installer, again, you'll see basic options. You don't even have to change any of these options. I'm just showing you the idea or giving you information about what options are available. You have the name and you have the storage. That's all you need to worry about most of the time. Once this is done, or once it's already set, you're happy with the settings, just click next. And Duplicator Pro will start a scanning process. It'll understand what kind of data you have on your site, if there are any problems with the backups that it's trying to create. And if you see any notices, you can go inside and check what the notice is about. So you can see security plugins not detected is the notice. Since this is a test website, we won't worry about this. If you see an error, absolutely go here and understand what the error is about. But if you see a notice, you can go and check. And most of the time, it's just something you should know about, but not worry about. So once you have all this information here, all green marks here, let's click build. And build is the process of actually building a complete backup or a package. So it'll take a few minutes. We'll pause the video, or I'll speed up the video, and we'll be back once this backup is complete. So in less than just a minute, the backup is now complete. And you see, this is a backup that you can actually use right now to restore your website completely from scratch. If anything goes wrong with your website, you have this. How important is that? So let me just show you a couple of options you have with backups. You have some options that you can see here. So if you go here, you'll see a bunch of options. You have this option, archive file, download. Let me just explain what these are. Since this backup is just a file which exists on the host, or which exists on the server where your website is hosted, it is something that you can actually download to your website or computer as well. So you see this button right here. If you want to have a backup of this backup on your computer, you can actually download this file, and that'll make it even easier for you to restore the backups. I'm not going to demonstrate it right now. First, we'll do a schedule backup, or I'll show you how schedules work, and then I'll show you how we can restore our website to any point in time using these options. So just to give you an idea of what we've done, we've just created or installed Duplicator Pro. We've activated with a license key. We set up a storage solution, and in a matter of a minute, we configured some basic options, and now we have a live backup of our website within just a few minutes of your time. That's how powerful Duplicator Pro is. But this process, what I showed you, was a manual process, right? You don't want to be manually backing up your website all the time. You want it to happen automatically, which is where the power of Duplicator Pro comes into play. So what I'm going to do is now set up schedules, which is like setting up schedules for backups on your site. And Duplicator Pro gives you some amazing options to schedule your backups in a variety of ways. And we're going to talk about some of the things that you can actually do, which sets Duplicator Pro apart from any other backup plugin out there. So going into schedules, what is a schedule? You already know a schedule is just a routine that you set up or for backing up your website. So what we can do here is start by creating a new schedule inside here. As you can see, there's no schedule here right now. I'll click add new, and this will give me the option of configuring the different variety of options here. Now, the first thing you'll notice is schedule name, and I'll just go over three options first. Now, what are all these settings? Now, the power of Duplicator Pro is in flexibility. So as I was saying, you have options to connect a variety of storages. You see the options here. You have a variety of local, or you have local storage. You have different drive storage. Now, you might not want to back up everything everywhere all at the same time. What I mean is, let's say you have a daily backup setup for your website. But if you have a daily backup running on your website, which is also saved on your own server, your server might get bogged down because of so much storage that the backups might take. So you don't want to back up locally all the time, but you want to set a specific schedule so that your backups actually happen everywhere. So this is where the power of scheduling comes into play. When you use Duplicator Pro, it gives you an option to set up schedules based on when it should update. It can be hourly, it can be daily, weekly, monthly, and even a specific day of the week. So a simple idea would be that, hey, you have a lot of cloud storage. So you can set up a schedule for a daily backup or even an hourly backup to the cloud. But once a week, just to have a local data backup access for yourself, you also decide to back up locally once a week. So you can set up two different schedules. The one can be daily, which will back up to the cloud, and the second backup can be local, which runs once a week. So this is how Duplicator Pro gives you lots of flexibility when it comes to configuring your backups and schedules. So let's start by configuring some basics here. First, we need to configure a template. And what is a template? I'll explain this. So I'll just choose the default template here. And what templates are a set of settings that you can configure or pre-configure so that your backups use that particular set of settings. As I explained when we were doing the manual backup, you have a variety of options or filters you can use. You can backup specific tables, only specific files and folders. You can exclude plugin files, all that good stuff. So let's say you want to have a specific set of settings for local backups and another set of settings for your cloud backups. You can set up templates here, and then based on the templates, the backups will run. It's a little advanced feature. Since we didn't configure, I'll just stick with the default template here, which will back up everything. It's the easiest way. So just choose the default option, and I'm going to set up two different schedules right now. I'm going to have a weekly schedule for my local backups and a daily schedule for my Google Drive backup. So here's how I'll configure it. I'll just say it, hey, local weekly, which will give me an easy understanding of, hey, this is going to be run local and this is going to be weekly. The package is default. The storage I've already selected is local. It repeats weekly on a Monday, and the start time is this time. And recovery status, I'm going to explain what that is. We need not need to worry about that right now. And once we've done this, we'll just click save schedule. I'll save the settings and set up this schedule. And schedule is now saved. We'll go into the schedules once, and you'll see the schedule actually configured here. So this is local weekly schedule. You have the opportunity or option to actually enable it and disable it anytime. So you don't have to worry about it always running if you don't want to delete it, but you just want to disable it. So since we have one schedule right now, let's also create another one for our cloud backups. So I'll go here once again in add new. I'll just say daily cloud. And inside daily cloud, I'll choose a template, which is the default template. I'm going to uncheck local and select Google Drive. So now my backups will go to Google Drive. I'll just select daily and every 1 day. So let's say if you want to have once every 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, that option is also available. Since I want to backup daily, I'll just click daily. So every day once at this particular time, a backup will be uploaded to Google Drive. And again, enable the schedule and recovery status. Let's click and save schedule. And within a minute of time, we were able to set up two completely, complementary backup schedules for your website. Isn't that powerful stuff? Now you can have lots of peace of mind that, hey, your website is being backed up weekly to your local server and also daily to the cloud. That's how easy it is to use Duplicator Pro, and that's how powerful Duplicator Pro is when it comes to backing up your website. And another cool feature here is that if you have just created a schedule and it takes some time to get going, you can actually manually trigger it just in the beginning. So just to give you a demonstration, if I go to the local weekly one, I can just click run now, and this will create a new backup just for this schedule. And let's do it. And I'll give you an example of how easy it can be if you want to just do it manually. So again, in less than a minute, a completely new backup was created just by clicking a few buttons. And now you have complete peace of mind that everything that you've set up as schedules will automatically run and your website will always be backed up. So if anything goes wrong on your website, you will always have a recovery point that you can go back to. So going into packages here, we already are inside packages. We see two different options here. So you see the different types of names that you see here. So this is a manual backup. So since we backed this up manually, you can see the option right here. And this was technically a scheduled backup. We triggered it manually, but so you can see the differences right here. Again, you can back up or download these to your computer and also set up recovery points. So what I'm going to do is first download one of these backups to my computer, and I'm going to show you how to create a recovery point and how you can utilize a recovery point to restore your website in case you don't have access to the backend of your website. Now, since both of these are local backups, we have this available on a server, but just as another backup, we'll download them to our computer first. So I'll go here, I'll click download, and we'll have both file, installer and archive. So installer is when you don't have access to WordPress on another server. If you want to install WordPress too, you can download the installer. Archive is just doesn't contain the WordPress core files. It just contains your website specific data. So if you already have WordPress installed, or if, let's say, for example, anything goes wrong, if WordPress is installed on destination server, you can completely restore your file or completely restore your website. So I'm going to download the archive file here, which is a zip file. It will be downloaded to or saved to my computer. And once we have downloaded that, we'll have that option available once again as well to restore. But let's talk about setting up recovery points. What are recovery points? If you click here, it'll give you a variety of options to make some changes. You'll see view details, transfer package, and recovery points. Now, let me pause for a second and explain what recovery points are. Let's say, for example, something happens on your website. You're trying something out, you mess something up, a core WordPress file goes corrupt, accidentally deleted, or there's a virus attack, malware attack, ransomware attack, and you can't access your website, or your website is completely crashed. In that case, what is the opportunity, or what is the option you have to restore your website? You can't upload backups because you won't have access to the backend. So recovery points are an amazing way to save yourself in that case. Recovery points work without having access to the backend of your server. And how they work is they give you a unique URL which will just trigger a complete restore on your website. So that's what recovery points are. And that's why you should always have at least one recovery point active on your website. It's absolutely critical if your website is important to you. So how you set up recovery points is very, very easy. Whatever package you want to set up as recovery, you'll see options here first. Recovery point capable. That means this package has all the information needed to completely restore your site. So this package can be made into a recovery point. So download blocked. Okay, I'll just let it be right now. And what I'll do is go here, and inside here, I'll just go and click recovery point, and you'll see options here. You see set to recovery point and set and launch recovery point install. Since we are setting a new recovery point here, I'll click set to recovery point. And what this will do is set this backup up as the recovery point. And once this is done, we'll get a unique URL that we'll have to copy and paste on a particular, I say you can save it. You have to have that available if you want to back up your website. So you see here, this is giving you the exact notice that I just mentioned. Recovery point is active. Copy the recovery URL by clicking the recover icon and keep it in a safe place. For full details, see recovery point in settings. I'm going to close the notice here, and I'm going to, and let me also collapse these options. And once we have the recovery point set, now what we can do is just hover over this icon, this icon, and this will help us copy the recovery point URL. And that is your, I say, get out of jail free card. So if anything happens to your website, you can trigger that, or just visit that URL and instantly trigger a restore using this backup, even without access to the backend of your website. So what I'm going to do is click and copy this to my clipboard. And just for demonstration, I'm going to open Notepad here on my screen. And I'm going to paste it here just to show you how that URL looks like. This is the URL of my website, so don't worry about that. It's a unique encoded key that is added to the URL, which tells Duplicator that's a legit person triggering this recovery point. So think about this right now. What have we done in less than 10-15 minutes of this tutorial? I told you about how Duplicator works. We installed Duplicator Pro. We set up some cloud storage options. We have local backups already done. I showed you how to create a manual backup. I also showed you how to add, or I say, schedule backups with a variety of options so that you always have peace of mind. I was able to show you how easy it is to backup manually, set up schedules, and even trigger a scheduled backup manually and set a recovery point which will save your behind in any, let's say, the worst case scenario possible. All this in, let's say, 15 minutes of time. I think that's absolutely amazing, right? So these are all the options that Duplicator Pro gives you. And I'm now going to demonstrate some additional, recovery options. Now we have everything in place. We have backups on our site. We have created backups. We have scheduled backups, everything. But what about when something goes wrong? How do you actually start the process of recovery? Let's talk about that. I'm going to give you a demonstration live here on the screen as well. So let's switch to the recovery options. All right, so now that you know how to back up your site using Duplicator Pro, let me also show you how to restore your website in case anything goes wrong. So switching back to my screen, this is the website we're working with. I already showed you the website. This is the website, right? It's a beautiful looking website, but to give you a demonstration of how you can back up the site, let's wreck the site first. I'm going to delete absolutely everything from the site, all the pages, all the posts, even delete the theme, and we're going to use the restore or the archive file that I've just downloaded from Duplicator Pro to actually set up and restore my website. So before I go and wreck the website, just giving you one more reminder, this is what I did, or I created a package. I have a scheduled backup as well. This was manually done. I click the download option, I click the archive, and a zip file will be downloaded to your computer. This is your local backup, but you can also restore from the backup that's stored on your server or also from the drive, because you can download it and have it in your computer. So absolutely anything goes wrong, if you're set up or if you have backed up to the cloud, you already always have access to backups that you can utilize to restore your website. So I'm going to utilize the backup that I have on my computer, but technically you can do the same thing. If you have a cloud backup, just download that backup from the cloud. So let's start by wrecking the site first. What I'm going to do is go to the post section, and we have 19 posts here. I'm going to just click all of this, go move to trash, apply. I'm just trash everything, just take or destroy everything on the site. Let's wait for it to finish. And meanwhile, I'll just go to the pages. I'll just go and move everything to the trash. Everything is inside the trash. Let's go to the trash section as well. I'll delete everything from the trash as well. I'll delete everything permanently. Going to the pages, again, I'll do the same thing with pages as well. I'm going to select everything, delete permanently. Deleted. So now we have all the deleted, or all the posts that were on the site have been completely deleted. All the pages on the site have been completely deleted. Let's also do the same thing with what we can do. We can delete the theme as well. So I'll go to appearance. I'm going to go to themes, and we have a few different themes. Let's install a new blank theme here. And let's say we can go with which theme should we go for. Let's go with this theme. I'll install it. And theme is installed. Let's activate it. And once it's activated, we'll just go into the main theme that we had. I'm going to delete the theme as well. So now we've completely wrecked the website. We've deleted all the posts, all the pages, even deleted the main theme. This is a typical scenario that can happen to you when your website is infected with malware, some malicious users gain access, or let's say one of your employees decides to play God with your website and delete everything. So how do we proceed with the recovery process? This is what we do. We go inside Duplicator Pro, and of course, I'm assuming that you have access to your backend of your website. And even if Duplicator Pro is, let's say, uninstalled or deleted, you can just reinstall the package. You'll have access to Duplicator Pro from your account on duplicator.com. So going here inside Duplicator Pro, I'm going to go to import, because this is where we're going to import a new package or a backup file. So just a reminder, I downloaded the zip file already on my computer from Duplicator. You can download it from your server or download it from the cloud backup that you've set up, or at least I hope you set up. So once that is done, what I'll do is just take that Duplicator file, drag and drop it here, and instantly it'll start analyzing the file and give you options once it analyzes what the backup is about. So let's wait for that to finish. So in just a couple of minutes of time, the entire package was uploaded to the site. Duplicator analyzed it by unzipping it and gives you this information completely on the screen. It tells you everything, what the version was, what WordPress was, and all green ticks here. That means the package has been checked for everything completely. So let's click continue to go to the next step. And this is where we'll see a recovery point is active. So recovery point, we are not going to use it, but having a recovery point is actually very beneficial. Let's say if you are restoring your website and for some reason your website crashes, for some reason the server crashes, then you are in a messy place. So having a recovery point in any case is absolutely a very, very critical point. So that's why I've set up recovery point first. So here is just confirming that you have a recovery point active just in case anything goes wrong, which is a marginal, I say very low probability, but it can happen. So we have all this. So we are choosing the recovery point archive, copy, and this is this. We can do everything. So we already have the recovery point in place, or we have the URL in place. Just in case if you didn't have it, it's giving you the option of copying the recovery URL once again and keeping it somewhere safe. So you can copy this URL once again, keep it in the safe place. And if anything goes wrong with the restoration process, you can still use the restore point or recovery point that we created to restore your website. So that's how Duplicator saves your behind in every scenario. Anything goes wrong, you have a backup option again to restore your website. So let's click launch installer, which will take us to the next step. So we're in the last step of the recovery process. All you have to do is confirm some information that is absolutely true and just proceed with the settings. So right now what we see here is that we are restoring a single site backup, which obviously we are. We're also setting some validation and setup processes. We don't have to worry about all of this because we are restoring everything on the same website that we backed up. So all you have to do is just click here so that you have read all terms and conditions and notices, and just click next. And it'll give you one more confirmation that, hey, these are the settings. You're restoring a single site. This is the URL. This is the path. This is the server, XYZ. And if you're just restoring your website on the same server that you had backed it up, none of the settings will change. Just go with the default settings. We'll just click OK, and it will process, or the restoration process will begin. So the restore process is beginning, and it'll take a few minutes of time. I'll resume the video once it is done. So in just a matter of minutes, the restoration process was also complete. You'll see import finished, but there's one critical step that you need to take to finish the restoration process. All you have to do is click this button and re-log in into the admin area using your existing password. Because you see the notice here, log into the WordPress admin to remove all the installation files. So everything that we just uploaded to our server, we need all of the installation files to be deleted for security reasons. So all you have to do is just click the admin login button, go back to the site, log in, and the import process will then be finished. So I'll click the admin login button, and we'll be prompted to log in once again with a username and password. So let's go ahead and do that. So now that we've logged in inside the admin area, once again, after the restore process is complete, this is where the installation is actually complete. And how do we verify it? We can go into the posts and pages section to figure out if our posts and pages have come back. So I'll open the post section in a new tab, and also the pages section in a new tab. And these are all the posts once again back on the website. 19 different posts, and also the different pages are also now available here. And the restoration process is complete, and the website also looks again beautiful as it was looking earlier. So that's how easy Duplicator Pro makes it for you to back up your site, schedule backups, and also restore your website in case anything goes wrong. There's only one demonstration remaining here in this video, which is the recovery point demonstration. As I mentioned, recovery point is an essential step for you to have and set up, or in case if you're not able to access the back end of your website. So anything goes wrong with the WordPress setup files, you have the recovery point that you can use to restore your website. So just as a demonstration, once again, I'm not going to wreck the website once again. I'm just going to trigger the recovery point with the URL. And the recovery point is where your website will be restored to. So if your recovery point is, let's say, a couple of weeks old, then that will be the point, or that will be the point that your website will be restored back to. So even though you have scheduled backups, make sure to also double check and keep your recovery points also up to date. This is very important. And you can have more than one recovery point and save it. So no worries about, hey, which is my latest recovery point. Just create a new one, make sure the URL is saved to you. So how do we trigger it? We just open the URL associated with the particular recovery point. If I open my Notepad hub, it's already here in my Notepad. So I'll just double click it, and this will start the installation process once again. And this is the same process that we just did when we uploaded the backup file, but this is much more seamless. And obviously it works even if you don't have access to the backend of your website. That is what makes this process absolutely critical and unique to have if you want to make sure that you can get access to your data and your website can be up and live running without, or in the extreme cases. So this is how it's easy. Just click click the link. It'll open up the recovery process. And once again, you have just all these things available here. It's a custom recovery install. All the information is exactly the same, or I say the interface is exactly the same. The information is different because we are using a recovery point to restore. So once again, I'll click the I have read and accept all terms and conditions, restore a recovery point. Let's click on it. One more notice. Are you okay with these settings? I'll click OK. And once again, the same process will begin. The Duplicator Pro will use the recovery point to restore my website back to the original place where we set up the recovery point. Let's wait for it to finish, and then we'll demonstrate if the website works. Oh, it's already done. So once again, we have to go back and log into the admin side of the website, and just log in once again to make sure that everything is done. So let's click the admin login button, and I'll quickly log in here. All right. So now we are logged in once again to our website, and the site has been successfully restored. Let's double check the pages and posts. I'll just go to the post section, and let's double check if you have 19 posts here, and 19 posts it is. And now once the website is restored, you can go back to Duplicator and double check if everything is in place. Make sure to go and check the packages section, because you have restored your website. The existing packages that you have might not be visible. So if you go here, you will see this notice here, because the existing packages that you have already used, or the previous packages that have, they'll not be useful anymore. So you'll need to create new packages. You see this manual package here. So just make sure that your schedule is in place, make sure that backups are in place. And if you want to create a manual backup after everything has been done, that's completely up to you. You can do everything that you like. And we see the duplicator schedules are already in place even after the backup. So no need to worry about that. You can trigger a manual backup just in case if you want to have a recent backup to restore to in the future. Make sure the website works perfectly and all is done. So This is all for this video. I hope you understood everything about Duplicator Pro and how powerful it is, how easy it is, how frictionless it is when it comes to setting up backups on your website. So we covered a lot in this video. We covered what is Duplicator Pro, what is Duplicator, how to install it on your site, how to enable and add storage options that you can have your backup stored in multiple places in the cloud, on your local server, and also on your computer. I told you about schedules, how to create different schedules. So you have most recent backups available anytime you want without utilizing or wasting a lot of your server storage. And also you can back up to your computer as well. Then we created schedules. We triggered them manually. We created manual backups. I showed you how to restore your website using the backups. So I used a backup from my computer, restored the website, and also showed you how to use recovery points, what recovery points are, and how easy recovery points make it to restore your website even if you can't access the backend area of your website. This is absolutely critical information, and that's where most plugins or most other plugins fall short. I hope you understood everything. If you have any questions about Duplicator Pro, make sure to leave in the comments, and of course subscribe to this channel for this amazing content just like this one. And I'm Yuvraj from WBeginner. I'll catch you in the next video, hopefully very, very soon. Take care.